I know the current political and economic situation is overwhelming right now, and that's why I'm always scouring science news in order to find something, anything that I can talk about that will actually brighten your day. And boy, do I have a really fun one for this video. Just take a look at these adorable puppies, which are actually de-extincted dire wolves brought back to life thanks to genetic tweaking. Oh, aren't they adorable? Look at their floofy little faces. It's so sweet. Too bad they're fucking fake as hell. That's right. They're not dire wolves. They're liar wolves, and I hate them. Okay, I don't hate them. I just feel quite critical about the people who created them, which it's the same way I feel about the people who make purebred domestic dogs, and for some of the same reasons, you know. Let's get into it. All of the fawning articles you're currently seeing about these puppies come courtesy not of any important new scientific research that's been done, but from a press release put out by a for-profit corporation owned in part by a billionaire called Colossal Biosciences. They first started getting press when they claimed that they were going to bring back the woolly mammoth from extinction back in 2023 in an announcement made at South by Southwest, which is where all great scientific announcements are made. Like, remember 2009 when they launched Foursquare? Remember Foursquare? No? Well, you know, maybe Colossal can sequence its DNA and bring it back to life 10,000 years from now. Anyway, 2 years after that announcement, last month, Colossal really did bring back the woolly mammoth. Look, here they are, two woolly mammoths hanging out on a table together, doing woolly mammoth stuff like running in a little wheel and nibbling on cheese. Oh, what's that? You can plainly tell that these are not, in fact, woolly mammoths. You can clearly see that Colossal just took a completely different species and edited some of their genes to make them look more woolly, but they haven't got around to doing the mammoth part yet. That's actually great. I'm glad that you clocked all that because it will prepare you for this month's announcement that they have brought back the direwolf. Because just like these woolly mammoths, the puppies are in no way dire wolves. They are just plain old wolfy wolves, gray wolves, who have had their genes edited to look more like the way that the general public imagines dire wolves might have looked like because of Game of Thrones, a made-up fantasy TV show that everyone hates now. And if you think I'm kidding, they literally named one of the wolf puppies Khaleesi. Yeah, and you thought it was embarrassing when your cousin named her baby that. This is somehow worse. And according to one of Colossal's founders, he didn't even know dire wolves were real when the show was airing. The show ended 5 years ago, so it basically took him just a few years to go from not knowing an animal existed to supposedly bringing it back from extinction. Sure you did. But yes, dire wolves did once exist, but they went extinct about 10,000 years ago, around the end of the last ice age. We do have access to their DNA thanks to several fossil pits here in the United States, which is how scientists very recently discovered that, contrary to what they thought before, direwolves were not closely related to today's existing gray wolves. In fact, dire wolves and other wolves split off about 5.7 million years ago. And the only reason they look similar is probably because of convergent evolution, which means that different species can end up looking similar to one another because they experience similar environmental pressures, like how birds and bats both adapted to fly despite their very distant relationship, or how everything eventually evolves into a crab if you just wait long enough. In an attempt to hide that 5.7 million year gap between direwolves and gray wolves, Colossal announces that the two species share 99.5% of their DNA, which sounds impressive until you realize that humans share about 99% of their DNA with pigs. So imagine an alien got his hands on a pig and edited the DNA to give it a smaller nose, longer rear legs, removed the tail, and then he was like, "Look, everybody, I made a human. Please give me more venture capital, thank you." Because in this dystopia, humans are extinct, but there are still pigs and venture capital. Just go with it. And that's what Colossal did. As Michael LePage explains very carefully in New Scientist, Colossal claims they made just 20 edits to the gray wolf DNA, 5 of which focused on lightening the color of the coat, and the other 15 of which are intended to alter the animal's size, musculature, and ear shape, which they won't even know was successful until the puppies grow up, which I understand because when I got Indy at 3 months old, they told me he was probably a German Shepherd dog mix. And I mean, look at him now. Look at the state of him. He's probably got more rock crab in him than German Shepherd, but we didn't know that until he got older. So we don't even know how much these puppies are going to end up looking like direwolves. So which edits were made exactly? Well, we don't know because as of now, Colossal has not published any actual research on this. Everything you are learning about it comes from their own public relations team, and even The New Yorker points out that they refuse to reveal any details about the specific genes because it's company IP. Okay, so they have some gray wolves with lighter coats and maybe slightly bigger bodies. What now? According to Colossal's website, they will now return the direwolf to its rightful place in the ecosystem. So I guess that means they really buried the lead there because they also invented a time machine because the direwolf's rightful place in the ecosystem is 10,000 years ago. Like, imagine if that previous alien released the pigman into the Earth of 12,025, and it's obviously just going to be all water, and so the pigman just rolls out of his cage and promptly drowns. Whoops. I don't think the people running Colossal are stupid. I think they know that there is no rightful place in the present ecosystem for direwolves, because even the relatively kind and glowing New Yorker article points out that humans don't even want wolves around, regular wolves, gray wolves. 15 years ago, we had a vice presidential candidate who ran on the platform of how fun it is to shoot gray wolves from a helicopter. How much are farmers going to love the idea of bigger, prettier wolves killing their livestock? Hell, we can't even protect coyotes because people can't keep their fucking house cats inside. Humanity isn't exactly extending a warm welcome to large predators right now. And that's why Colossal is also pretending that their stunt will help conserve species that aren't extinct yet. By learning how to bring these other species back from extinction, we can save future species. We can learn more about their genetic code and help them with disease and whatever. This is a bit like the argument over colonizing Mars, which is easier, making a dead, dry, distant planet habitable for humans, or stopping the human activity that is leading to this planet becoming uninhabitable for humans. Which is easier, supporting the scientists who are currently successfully engaged in conservation of threatened species, or letting those species die and then bringing them back to life using another related species. And that's assuming that the general public or any researchers outside of Colossal's corporate structure has access to their data, which again, right now, no one does. There's no peer-reviewed research, only their pinky promise, and they refuse to tell anyone anything of note about the genetics because it's corporate IP. That's not how conservation is done. That's not how any good science is done. So sure, let's all coo over the cute photos, but at the end of the day, you are not any close to living out your Game of Thrones fantasy. If that's what you want, you can get a pet that's 90% direwolf at your local animal shelter right now. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you think the world could use more videos like this and you happen to have a few bucks laying around, head to patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people whose names you see on the screen right now. Thanks.